Hey folks, before we get into today's video, I need to ask you something, and I want you to really think about this one. Are you leaving money on the table right now, and you don't even know it? Because here's the deal. Millions of Americans, just like you, are quietly losing tens of thousands of dollars in Social Security benefits. Not because they're careless, not because they're bad with money, but because nobody ever sat them down and told them the truth. Welcome to Senior Money Secrets. I'm glad you found us. This channel exists for one reason and one reason only: to help you keep more of the money you've worked your whole life for. And today's video? Folks, this one could literally be worth thousands of dollars to you. So grab a pen, or at least pull up your notes app, because you're gonna wanna remember this stuff. Here's what we're covering today. 5 Social Security mistakes that I see Americans making over and over again. And trust me, once you know these, you cannot unknow them. Mistake number 1, claiming at the wrong age. And this one alone can cost you up to 30% of your benefits permanently. Mistake number 2, the earnings trap that blindsides thousands of retirees every single year. Mistake number 3, the spousal benefit secret that most married couples have absolutely no idea exists. Mistake number 4, the tax bomb hiding inside your Social Security check. Yep, it can be taxed. We'll talk about that. And mistake number 5, the single biggest planning failure that leaves seniors financially vulnerable in their 80s and beyond. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell. We post every Tuesday and Friday, no fluff, no sales pitch, just the real information you deserve to have. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, mistake number 1. And folks, this is the big one. This is the granddaddy of all Social Security mistakes. So pay attention here. Here's a number that's gonna stop you in your tracks. Nearly 1 out of every 3 Americans claims Social Security at age 62. The earliest age you possibly can. 1 out of 3. And I'll be straight with you, most of them regret it. Plain and simple. Okay, so here's what you need to understand. Social Security has something called your full retirement age, or FRA. Think of it as your home base benefit. The age where you get exactly what you earned, nothing more, nothing less. For anyone born in 1960 or later, that age is 67. If you were born between 1955 and 1959, it falls somewhere between 66 and 67. We've got a chart on screen right now showing the exact breakdown. Now, here is where the permanent damage happens. And I need you to really hear this word, permanent. For every year you claim Social Security before your full retirement age, your monthly benefit is reduced by roughly 6.5% per year. So here's what that actually looks like in real dollars. Because I don't want to just throw percentages at you, I want you to feel this number. Let's say your full Social Security benefit at 67 would be $2,000 a month. Nice round number. You claim at 62 instead, that drops to about $1,400 a month. $600 less every single month for the rest of your life. Now, I want you to do some quick math with me. $600 a month times 12 months. That's $7,200 a year you're giving up. Now multiply that by just 20 years of retirement. You're looking at $144,000. Gone. Because of one decision made too early. But here's where it gets exciting, and this is the part most people never hear about. Every year you delay claiming Social Security past your full retirement age, up to age 70, your benefit grows by 8% per year. 8%. Guaranteed. By the government. Think about that for a second. Where else are you getting a guaranteed 8% return these days? I'll wait. So if your benefit at 67 is $2,000 a month, wait until 70, and it jumps to roughly $2,480. That's an extra $480 every single month. For life. Now, and this is important, I want to be real with you here. Waiting isn't always the right move. If your health isn't great, if you genuinely need the income right now, or if your family situation makes early claiming the smarter play, then claiming early might be exactly right for you. The bottom line is this: don't claim out of fear. Don't claim because your neighbor did. Run your numbers. And we're going to talk about how to do that at the end of today's video. Mistake number 2. And I call this one the earnings trap, because that's exactly what it is, a trap. And it catches thousands of retirees completely off guard every single year. Here's the scenario. You retire. You start collecting Social Security. But then you decide to keep working part-time, maybe to stay busy, maybe cover a few extra expenses. Sounds totally fine, right? Well, it depends entirely on how old you are. If you're collecting Social Security before your full retirement age, and you're still bringing in a paycheck, the Social Security Administration has what's called an earnings limit. In 2026, that limit is $24,480 a year. That's about $2,040 a month. Now here's the part that gets folks. For every $2 you earn above that limit, the SSA withholds $1 from your Social Security check. Let that sink in for a second. You're working, you're paying taxes, and you're losing Social Security benefits at the same time. It's a double hit, and most people have no idea it's coming. Let me show you what this looks like with real numbers. Say you're 64 years old. You're collecting Social Security, and you earn $34,000 this year from a part-time job. That's $10,000 over the $24,480 limit. So the SSA withholds $5,000 from your Social Security benefits. $5,000. Just like that. Now, and here's the good news. I want to make sure you hear this too. Once you hit your full retirement age, that earnings limit completely disappears. Gone. You can earn as much as you want. Zero reduction in benefits. Zero. And that money that was withheld? The SSA recalculates your benefit and gives you credit for it over time. So it's not lost forever, but man, the cash flow hit in the short term is painful. So here's the takeaway on mistake number 2. If you're planning to keep working, do yourself a favor and seriously consider waiting to claim Social Security until you reach your full retirement age. The math almost always works in your favor. Almost always. And the peace of mind? That's worth something too. Okay, folks. Mistake number 3. And this one honestly makes me a little sad every time I talk about it. Because the money is just sitting right there. And so many people never claim it. I'm talking about spousal and survivor benefits. And if you are married, or if you have been married, I need you to hear every single word of what I'm about to say. Here's something that genuinely shocks people when they first hear it. Even if you never worked a single day in your life, even if you never paid one dime into Social Security, you may still qualify for Social Security benefits. Based on your spouse's work record. This is called the spousal benefit, and it can be worth up to 50% of your spouse's full retirement benefit. 50%. Just for being married. Let's put real dollars to that. If your spouse's full benefit is $2,500 a month, you could receive up to $1,250 a month as a spousal benefit. That's $15,000 a year that a lot of couples are just leaving on the table. But here's where it gets even more critical. And I want to talk about this with some sensitivity, because it's a heavy topic. Survivor benefits. If your spouse passes away, the surviving spouse may be eligible to receive up to 100% of the deceased spouse's benefit, not 50%, 100%. This is why, for married couples, having the higher earning spouse delay Social Security until 70 is such a powerful strategy. Because when that higher earner passes away, the surviving spouse inherits that larger benefit for the rest of their life. We're talking potentially $500, $600, even $700 more per month. For maybe 15 or 20 years of widowhood. That decision right there could be worth over $100,000. Think about that. And now, I've saved a little secret for the end of this section, because this one surprises people every single time. If you were married for at least 10 years, and you are now divorced, you may still be eligible for spousal benefits based on your ex-spouse's work record. Your ex doesn't even have to know. It doesn't affect their benefit one bit. Not one penny. But it could mean thousands of dollars per year for you. If this applies to you, please do yourself a favor, go to ssa.gov and look into this today. This is money you earned. Mistake number 4. I call this one the tax bomb. And that's exactly what it feels like when it hits. a bomb, going off in your retirement budget. Here's something that most Americans genuinely believe. They believe their Social Security benefits are completely tax-free. Folks, they are wrong. And finding this out after the fact, when that IRS bill shows up, is one of the most unpleasant surprises in retirement. I hear from people about this all the time. Okay, so here's how it actually works. The IRS uses something called provisional income to figure out whether your Social Security benefits are taxable. And the formula sounds complicated. But I promise, stick with me here. It's simpler than it sounds. Your provisional income equals your adjusted gross income plus any tax-exempt interest you have, plus half of your Social Security benefits. That total determines how much of your SS gets taxed. Now here are the magic numbers. If you're filing single and your provisional income is between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed. Go above $34,000, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits may be taxable. 85%, folks. For married couples filing jointly, those thresholds are $32,000 and $44,000. Let me make this real. Say you receive $24,000 a year in Social Security, and you've got another $20,000 coming in from other retirement income. Your provisional income comes out to around $32,000. That means up to half of your Social Security, about $12,000, could be taxable. At even a modest 22% tax rate, that's over $2,600 in taxes on money you thought was tax-free. Okay, so what do you do about it? Good news, there are strategies. And here are the two most powerful ones. Strategy 1. If you haven't started claiming Social Security yet, consider doing Roth conversions during your lower income years. Roth IRA withdrawals do not count toward provisional income. That alone can keep thousands of dollars completely off the IRS radar. Strategy 2. Be strategic about which accounts you pull from and when. The order of withdrawals in retirement matters a lot more than most people realize. A good tax advisor can map this out for your situation, and it can save you tens of thousands of dollars over a 20-year retirement. We'll do a whole dedicated video on both of these strategies, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. And now, mistake number 5. In my opinion, this is the most dangerous mistake on this entire list. Not because it's complicated, but because it's so easy to fall into, and so hard to fix later. The mistake is this: treating Social Security as your entire retirement plan. Here's your reality check. The average Social Security benefit in 2026 is approximately $1,979 a month. That's less than $24,000 a year. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it because you deserve to know the truth. For most American couples, $24,000 a year is below the poverty line. That's not an opinion. That's just math. And here's the other piece of math you need to sit with for a second. A healthy 65-year-old today has a very real chance of living into their late 80s, some into their 90s. We're talking about potentially 25, 30 years of retirement. Can $1,979 a month cover 30 years of healthcare, housing, food, and the life you've earned? For most folks, the honest answer is no. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking about the Social Security Trust Fund. You've seen the headlines. You've heard the warnings. So let me address this directly, because I think a lot of people are making fear-based decisions because of it. Here's the honest picture. The trust fund is projected to face funding challenges around 2033. But, and this is a big but, even if the trust fund reserves were depleted, ongoing payroll taxes from working Americans would still fund approximately 80% of scheduled benefits. Social Security is not going away. It may look different for future generations. Congress has adjusted it before and they'll adjust it again. But the idea that it's just going to vanish overnight, that's not how it works. So please, don't claim early out of fear. That fear-based decision is almost always the wrong one financially. Almost always. So what's the solution? Financial planners have talked for years about what they call the three-legged stool of retirement income. And I love this mental model because it's so simple and so true. Leg 1, Social Security. Leg 2, your personal savings. Your 401k, your IRA, your Roth IRA. Leg 3, other income. Part-time work, rental income, a pension, an annuity, whatever makes sense for your situation. Here's the thing about a stool. A stool with only one leg falls over. A stool needs all three legs to stand. Your retirement is no different. Social Security is a foundation. It's not the whole house. The sooner you understand that and start building those other two legs, the more secure your retirement is going to be. Plain and simple. And here's the hopeful part, no matter where you are right now, it is never too late to start strengthening those other legs. Never. All right, folks, let's bring it home. 5 Social Security mistakes. 5 ways Americans are leaving real money on the table. Mistake 1, claiming too early and permanently cutting your benefit by up to 30%. Mistake 2, the earnings trap, losing Social Security benefits while you're still working. Mistake 3, overlooking spousal and survivor benefits, money that's yours and you don't even know it. Mistake 4, the tax bomb, getting hit by the IRS on income you thought was tax-free. Mistake 5, treating Social Security as your whole plan instead of one important piece of the puzzle. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. Social Security is your money. You worked for it. You paid into it. Year after year after year. You deserve every single dollar you're entitled to, and then some. The system is complicated. The rules change. And frankly, the Social Security Administration isn't going to call you up and say, hey, you're leaving money on the table. That's not their job. But it is ours. And that's exactly why this channel exists. Hey, if this video helped you today, do me a favor and hit that like button. Takes 2 seconds, costs you nothing.